Hello, everybody. Hello. How are we doing this evening? Um, I wanted to be sure of what the situation with the player is. I was always sure that we are going to get Antony, right? That was never in doubt. But I also wanted to be sure that, you know, the news is concrete and I don't come up with some vague ass news. So by this time, everyone knows that the deal is almost certain, right? Uh, a good a quarter of a day ago from now, I think it was reported that the asking price for Antony has been fixed. The asking price was fixed at 100 million euros, which I think, in my opinion, we should have bid anyway. Like, we should have gone for 100 million euros, irrespective of whatever Ajax were asking or not asking, or whatever the scene was. Like, we should not have just, from 80 to 90. I don't know why were we pushing for like 5, 7 million extra of whatever we did. We should have gone for a whole number, because anyway, we could be safer at that number, right? I don't know what kind of play they were going to, because they're already in such a dire strait. The management and the recruiting team of Man United, they're already in such a very crucial and complicated state with the player. They could have just bid 100 million euros, because I think that number, the three figures, makes a kind of an impact. I don't think going 90 million after one failed bid, which was 80 million, didn't make a lot of sense for me. Like, I was more leaning towards the fact that they wanted this bid to be rejected. But I don't know. Now I think Ajax, after all the thinking processes that went internally, the player being unhappy, the player mentality not being perfect, if they don't sell the player for the next rest of the season, the player underperforming, and then they end up not getting a required amount of money from the player that they're getting right now. So all this thinking and everything that went through, that I'm pretty sure the management at Ajax go through all this thinking, and only then agreeing to a number which was 100 million euros, which I think is a great deal for both. For United, not that much, but for Ajax, it's a huge deal. 100 million 100 million for a player. I don't think that has happened for an Eredivisie player ever. Like, you don't pay that much money until that has the player has proven everything that is left to prove on Mother Earth, right? So when we pay a sum of around 100 million, uh, we have some basic requirements and basic necessities that a player fulfills, at least for the bare minimum, which I think Cristiano Ronaldo, when he was the most expensive player at that point of time, I'm starting with 2008 9, because I don't want to go, you know, I don't want to jump back for a long, like to a very distant time. So when Ronaldo was, the United were paid 84 million for Ronaldo. He had already proved himself. He won the Ballon d'Or. He won a lot of trophies. When Bale went for 100 million, he was actually tearing it apart in the Premier League. When Neymar was offered that huge sum of over 200 million, he already did a lot of he achieved a lot in Barcelona, won a lot of trophies while the time he was there, including Champions League, of course. So whenever someone touches the three-figure mark, he is kind of proven at certain point of time. Bale maybe not so much, didn't win, whatever was expected of him to win for the price tag, but he was tearing it apart in the Premier League. The league is pretty huge, right? And for an Eredivisie player, when the league that he's coming from is not top level, the opponents are not the best in the world. Maximum the potential that you can show is only in Champions League, and that had happened only once. Like when they reached the semis of the Champions League under Ten Hag, of course. Except for that, I don't think he has, or he proved or he justified the three-figure mark, the three-figure transfer amount. But again, if that is to be considered, a lot, I think this market has inflated, insanely. You know, Lisandro Martinez going for 50 million pounds, which is still, I think, huge amount of money, but he's proving to be a great signing, right? He's doing great. So we don't complain. We don't complain about that. And if someone like, Wesley Fofana can go for 70 million, of course, Premier League proven talent, but so was Harry Maguire, right? So if you don't know what to compare to what, which player to compare to which other player, we don't know what to do with these kind of figures and numbers. But again, if the player looks exciting, Antony is pretty exciting. Everything that surrounds the aura of Antony, the vibe that he brings, is exciting. He fits the profile of a left-footed player that the manager needs, because we don't have Greenwood anymore for whatsoever reasons. So if Antony comes in, more than the appeal that he brings in for the fans, the excitement, the dribbles, the eye for goal, the flashy plays, I think the manager is of influence here. The manager is an influence in the deal, and he will be influenced by the player as well, because he feels the style, Antony style, fits his play. So we, or Manchester United board, needed to deliver this player, and I think the deal is almost done as we speak. The deal is in the very final stages, and they're preparing a final contract for Antony, and with Ajax, because the player's deal is completely sealed. Like, we have agreed all personal terms with Antony. Only part that is left for us is to clear and structure the entire contract with Ajax, and that is what the two clubs are trying to do right now. And that is, again, I hope, it's pretty much done now. We just have to wait for maybe tonight, and then we'll go ahead and have a possible here we go in the morning. So at least from India, it will be in the morning. So we just hope things go great for Man United and Antony when he comes in, and we don't fail the player, and the player doesn't fail us. This being said, there has been another news where Gakpo has been interviewed, or has been asked a question from ESPN. He answered about his future in PSV, where he said that Antony going to Man United had nothing to do with what he is planning, or what United are planning with him, or whatever the talks have been between Gakpo's camp and Man United. He feels that nothing has influence over his future at PSV or at Man United. He still feels that when he says things like it's like a puzzle, the next few days will be like pieces of jigsaw puzzle, where he has to figure out, and the clubs have to figure out where he's going to end. But he has no problem staying with PSV. He finds it. He still finds PSV very comfortable, which I'm sure he does, because he's Dutch. The club is Dutch. He's staying at his own homegrown areas. Fine, of course, nothing fine, but player wants challenges, and you don't say stuff like his future is puzzling unless there is an indication of him leaving, right? And I hope that we get both of them, because we do need to strengthen our strike force. So if Depay, about Depay, so if we don't get Depay and we get these two players, I'll still be happy. But if we don't go ahead and get Gakpo, maybe Depay might be a possibility, because I think we did submit a 10 million euro bid, because why not? The player is still available for free, because he was ready to terminate the contract with Barcelona for joining Juventus. But I think right now that will not be the case, where United will bid 10 million euros, and United want to pay, because I don't know, they have been like this for the longest. So they want to pay some amount of money for Depay, but I am not sure what exactly is the situation with Depay. If Gakpo comes in or Gakpo doesn't come in, then Depay will be a choice, or everything is a choice right now, right? But personally, I feel Gakpo is better, and Depay coming back is not good for the player. Maybe, this is my opinion again, might not be good for the player, might not be good for the club as well. It might be good for both of them, but again, the chances are high that it, you know, sweet return is not always the best thing, until unless you're Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, which I'm sure Depay is not. Uh, so that is basically it. Ajax's coach was really sad about Antony's deal being almost sealed with United. He had to say that everything in today's world is about money, and wherever people find money, they will go, and that is today's world, which is true, kind of. Like, I mean, people do stuffs for money, right? Like, everything is financial at the end. The turnaround for Ajax is 120 million, where for United it's maybe 10 times of that, 8 times of that. But it's a lot, right? And even in Premier League, if you finish bottom of the table, you get 100 million from your TV rights alone, sponsorships and everything aside. And for Eredivisie to just come first, you get around 10 million pounds, and for Premier League, 100 million pounds. To come last, you stand anywhere from 1 to 10th, you get a lot of money anyway. So it is about money, it is about the competition as well. You grow as a player in better leagues, in better company, in better environment. So at the end of the day, more money, sometimes more, I think most of the times, is directly proportional to, I think, better competition, better development, better infrastructure. Player will prefer to go to better leagues and try to prove themselves at the end of the day, at least in the field of football, right? And Antony had always made it clear that he wanted to pursue his dreams, and he wanted to play for United, and wanted Ajax to accept a feasible deal at the end of the day. He did not want them to just terminate his contract and let him go for free. He did not want that, so he wanted both parties to be sufficiently happy. So that is what's happening at the end. 100 million euros is not less. Ajax have done great in the transfer market. They've got over 150 million from the two players that they have sold to just Man United. So that's a huge amount. They've done good business. They can use this money and build on their current club facilities, players, and whatever they want to. So yeah, that is it for this video. Trying to keep it really short, but still 13 minutes somehow. Take care, guys. We will come back with more news. I think tomorrow morning in India, that will be where United will go ahead, and if not United, maybe Romano will go ahead and have, and here we go. And pretty soon after that, we'll have official club statement. I think tomorrow should be the day. Again, I will not jinx it because I want it to happen tomorrow, but I really hope it happens tomorrow, so that he's available to train from day after tomorrow, and maybe goes medical tomorrow and available to train day after tomorrow. Couple of days training, and then maybe available for the Leicester game. That is what I want. That is my personal opinion, and again, that is what my personal thoughts are. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is your boy Shine signing out. Remember to like, comment if you want to, and subscribe if you like my face or like what I say.